That's right.
I'm angry this
Dad,
morning. Did something happen with individual one?
Rico Lamitte.
Thank you for that introduction, Jason. My guess is that something is going on with individual one, or um, maybe with Tucker Carlson. But I'm going to take that as just projection, and you got to do your trauma a little better, Jason.
I haven't been leaving the office early because Tucker hasn't been on anymore.
Does it hurt?
Don't worry, Tucker's gonna be back. Tucker's actually gonna come on the show and see us on here on High at 9.
If he comes on the show, man, like I'll vomit live.
Maybe that would be great for ratings.
That'll be the absolute worst, but it would be great for ratings. And what's great for ratings is always great for the show. So bring him on.
Yes.
Anyways, my story, we're headed out to the great state of New Jersey, where cops smoking weed off duty was all good just a week ago. Well, maybe a year ago, but y'all get where I was going with it. Back in April 2022, nearly a year ago to the date, New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin issued a memo to police chiefs and law enforcement agencies giving orders that they may not take any adverse action against any officers because they do or do not use cannabis off duty. That was put into law this February, and the order is now facing its first major test as 4 Garden State officers were recently fired for popping positive, and they say that they were playing by the rules. Jersey City's arguing because they consume marijuana at all, they cannot legally own a gun, and therefore they violated federal law, which makes them unsuitable for service. A direct quote from the city spokesperson was this: "Despite what the Attorney General says, despite what the Constitution says, despite what the statute says, it does not apply to us." The now ex-officers want to stay anonymous, but are pushing for reinstatement and filing petitions before the Civil Service Commission. When the state's top cop says a positive cannabis test should not jeopardize an officer's job, that should be the end of the conversation. But for some reason here, it ain't. You might be thinking something ain't right here because issue guns aren't owned by cops. They're issued by whatever department they hail from. But that's not the case. Jersey City is one of the few police departments in America that requires officers to actually buy their own guns. The lawyer representing the officers, Peter Paris, claims citing federal law to uphold the firings is tricky, considering that everything about legal cannabis under the New Jersey Constitution is technically unlawful under federal law. Valid point. And once again, we're talking about the constitutionality of banning legal cannabis consumers from owning firearms in the great bastion of freedom that is America. Paris says if the officers' petition for reinstatement goes through, the officers will obtain back pay, but I don't see this problem going anywhere anytime soon unless they strike the question about cannabis usage off the federal farm to obtain firearms in the first place. Oklahoma ruled it unconstitutional. Florida is in the process of doing the same. Shout out to Nikki Fried. It's time the Supreme Court takes up this issue before the streets get all unruly because weed smoking cops can't do their jobs. It's something, 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 something. Law and order. What a time to be alive. I'm Rico Lamitte, dopest dad on the street. Glad to hear from you guys. What do you think about this one?